we'll start off with some potential issues with the University of Michigan that we discussed yesterday. It seems like that story has percolated into today as well, as the University of Michigan are going to be facing some sanctions. In fact, Michigan and 5 individuals who are currently or previously worked for the program reached an agreement with the NCAA enforcement staff on violations that are concerning their coaching activities, concerning recruiting and their non-coaching staff members that occurred within the football program. The committee issued a statement on April the 16th confirming the resolution of the case, and Jim Harbaugh was not part of that agreement, so his case was resolved separately. And right now, the NCAA also has issued a statement, and we're going to give you that statement here, I believe, in a second here. There it is. The Division I Committee on Infractions panel determined that former Michigan head football coach Jim Harbaugh violated recruiting and inducement rules, engaged in unethical conduct, failed to promote an atmosphere of compliance, and violated head coach responsibility obligations, resulting in a 4-year show cause order. Harbaugh could potentially face a suspension if he returns to coach in college. It will not affect him in the National Football League, which really is the bottom line as he takes over for the Chargers this year. All right, a very interesting lawsuit has percolated online, which isn't getting attention, and so we thought we would bring some of it to light. This is regarding FanDuel, really interesting story, allegedly violating California's privacy laws. And again, California does not have legalized sports betting, by using TikTok's trap and trace software to track website users. How about that? The lawsuit, which was filed last month in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, claims that the software collects user data before cookie consent is given, and that violates California's trap and trace law using a process called fingerprinting. The TikTok software, what they do is collect personal data from users who visit the website, and then the data is matched against existing data that TikTok has already mined from hundreds of Americans, millions of Americans. The software then can be used to restructure the user's identity, and that allows the company to run targeted advertising campaigns. You know what that's all about, despite not receiving cookie content. And basically what this means is that they did not have consent to use this via FanDuel. And at the same time, everybody who's used Instagram, Facebook, or anything else, you click on something, you know exactly why you're getting ads for that. Same thing essentially is here as well. So we'll follow this for you. And of course, our friends at Legal Sports Report will as well. Okay, looks like that China is very interested in changing some of the elements to the upcoming Olympic Games. Now, again, with the Olympic Games coming to an end, this will affect the next Olympic Games. China's anti-doping agency on Thursday has asked the ITA, the International Testing Agency, to intensify testing of the Americans in track and field after sprinter Arian Knighton tested positive for a banned substance. They've also accused the U.S. anti-doping agency earlier this week of some double standards, saying that the U.S. had been trying its best to clear U.S. athletes while using the different methods of cover-ups in order for them to participate. So, needless to say, upcoming Olympics in the United States in 4 years. We'll see if this potentially gets affected. Also, the Chicago White Sox have made a move, and not a surprising one. Pedro Grifol, who had 190 losses over the last 2 seasons, has been dismissed by the Chicago White Sox. It was announced this morning, 89 wins, 190 losses, and the largest losing streak in the history of the American League at 21 games. That was tied. So Grifol is out as manager of the White Sox. All right, back to the Olympics. Let's go to some results here. How about Quincy Hall? What an incredible run for him. The latest American to electrify the fans in Paris. Coming all the way from behind. Can't show you the video. That's a shame. 400 meters to reel in 3 runners and capture the gold medal. He was in 4th place, came all the way back to finish first. He beat Matthew Hudson-Smith by 0.04 seconds. How about Noah Lyles at the Olympics? We've been talking about him quite a bit, right? He'll race for his 2nd Olympic gold medal. He finished runner-up on Wednesday in the 200-meter, his first loss at that distance in 3 years. Andre DeGrasse of Canada finished 3rd in his heat and did not advance. Over in women's basketball, Team USA moves on. They beat Nigeria by the final of 88-74. They're looking for their 8th consecutive and 10th overall Olympic gold medal at the U.S. Olympics. Team USA was led by Asia Wilson. She had 20 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Her third of the Paris Games was also Wilson's fourth of her career, the most ever by a U.S. women's player. How about this new obstacle course sport? Pentathlon, an outlier at the Olympics, is getting rid of its horse competition at the Paris Games and bringing in a new competition. It's called American Ninja Warrior. Sounds familiar. Sounds like something we see on TV. It's an obstacle course for the Olympic Games in 2028, a new pentathlon that essentially involves running, swimming, horse riding, shooting, and fencing. Did you write all that down? If not, when the Olympics comes back in 2028, I'll tell you all again. In Major League Baseball, Jackson Holliday, one of the top young prospects and players in all of Major League Baseball, hit a home run again last night. It's his third straight game. He ain't even 21 years old, folks, and he's homered in 3 games in a row. He did not get off to the best start when he was activated earlier this season for the Orioles, but after a stint in the minor leagues, he has come back with a vengeance, and his manager, Brandon Hyde, said it's all about the swing.
Well, he's got a nice swing, and there's a lot of things that work in that swing, and he's got a lot of confidence, and he really can get on a fastball, and I just think you see the confidence growing, honestly, up here at this level. A little bit of success, and all of a sudden you start feeling good in the batter's box, and he's getting some huge hits. That's 3 nights in a row, so really happy for him.
Jackson Holliday on fire for the Orioles, but nobody hotter last night in Major League Baseball than Kyle Schwarber of the Philadelphia Phillies. Not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs in their victory over the Dodgers yesterday. They were down 4-3, but all of a sudden they stormed a huge comeback in this one as Schwarber hit 3 home runs, and the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Dave Roberts, was thrown out of the game for arguing balls and strikes. Not happy with the way things went there. In terms of afternoon baseball today, we have the Giants and Nationals coming up at noon Eastern. Kyle Harrison against DJ Hurst. Those are the starting pitchers, although weather could be a factor in that game. The Brewers take on the Braves. Frankie Montas takes on Charlie Morton. The Brewers have won the first 3 games of that series. Also 12:35 Eastern. It is Padres and Pirates, and Scott Farrell at 3 o'clock Eastern will give you recaps and highlights of all those games as well. Over in the National Football League, we've got preseason action tonight. You ready to just unload your entire bankroll on this great game between the Panthers and Patriots? Total of 34.5. Bet it all on one of the sides. I'm just kidding. Stay away. Lions also take on the Giants. How about the University of Texas going into the season as one of the favorites to win the Southeastern Conference? They've lost their running back, C.J. Baxter, a knee injury in practice Tuesday. He's going to have season-ending surgery as an MRI revealed posterior collateral ligaments, LCL, PCL tears. He was the number 30 overall recruit in 2023. Texas has a good backup, but Baxter's a good running back as well. Fights in practice. We're seeing this happen. Teams need to play against each other and stop fighting against each other. DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks yesterday swigging his helmet, getting in fights. Not good. Lamar Jackson says that he's lost 20 pounds. He said he got too fat last year. Guy looked in great shape to me. Couldn't we all lose 20 pounds? We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.